Hello everyone, welcome back to our second video in the Mexican series. And this time we are taking you to an iconic place on earth, the ancient Mayan city of Chichen Itza.
Just saying the name gives us chills. This is a place we had been dreaming about for so long and we finally made it happen. Our tour began in Playa del Carmen, but a last minute shuffle put us in the Spanish speaking van instead of the English one. As our guide explained the ancient Mayan calendar in Spanish, we relied on Google Translate to follow along.
After a few hours on the road, we finally arrived.
Hello guys, nice to meet you.
Met our guide, grabbed our camera permits, and stepped into this ancient world ready to explore.
Walking down that long access road lined with vendors on both sides, it instantly reminded us of home. It was giving us the strongest Kataragama vibes.
We were so glad we booked a guided tour because having someone explain the history and the meaning behind everything made an enormous difference. If you ever visit a site like this, it's better to get yourself a guide.
We spent almost 260 days for the Mayan. This next one's the next triangle, so they're gonna come in every 7 minutes. At 60 minutes later, from Chichen Itza, Mayans and Japanese samurai. He's plotting.
Our first stop was the Pyramid of Kukulcan, and our guide showed us something extraordinary. When you clap in front of the temple, the sound echoes back as a chirping noise, almost exactly like a bird call. It is believed this could be due to the cenote beneath the pyramid or the slightly off-center doorway at the top.
2, 3. So,
We all clapped together and heard it echo back. And honestly, the look on everyone's faces said everything. It is the kind of thing you have to experience yourself to believe.
one archaeology from Campeche State. My friends, Apocalypse is 180% through.
No.
Listen again. The Chichen Itza. Miss, where are you from?
Next was the Great Ball Court, the largest ancient ball court ever found in Mesoamerica. Players had to keep a heavy rubber ball in the air using only their hips and elbows, driving it through a stone ring fixed high on the wall.
What makes this fascinating and a little dark is that both the losing team and the winning captain were sacrificed after the game. Being chosen was seen as the highest honor, a direct offering to the gods. The stone carvings along the walls show these rituals carved in extraordinary detail.
Near the ball court, vendors had replica rubber balls on display, and we were genuinely surprised by how heavy they were.
We also saw tools carved from obsidian, volcanic rock, or as the Game of Thrones fans would call it, dragon glass. The Mayans used it for knives, weapons, and even shaped mirrors to safely observe solar eclipses.
Every object we looked at told us a story. The craftsmanship and knowledge these people had is just mind-blowing. After the guided portion of the tour ended, it was finally our time to explore freely. And that was when we truly got to soak it all in at our own pace. One thing nobody warned us about were iguanas. They were everywhere in the Riviera Maya, in all sizes and colors, and they just stroll around the ruins like they owned the place. Terrifying but amazing at the same time.
We moved through the Thousand Columns area briefly. A long forest of stone pillars that once supported a grand roofed hall, believed to have been used for markets or ceremonies by the Mayan elite. And then we passed the Temple of Venus, a smaller platform dedicated to the planet Venus.
With time running short, there was one place we absolutely could not leave without seeing, the Sacred Cenote, where the Mayans made offerings to their rain god Chak, and thousands of human remains have been recovered from its depths.
Standing at the edge, looking down into that deep green water, knowing what lies at the bottom, it was eerie and powerful all at once.
But time ran out, and sitting on the bus heading back, we both felt the same thing. We had barely scratched the surface.
So we made a decision right there. We were coming back.
The drive back was an adventure of its own. The toll roads, the construction, navigating everything in an unfamiliar country, and then, at one point, the military stopped and checked our vehicle, which was not something we were expecting at all.
We could not capture it on camera, but trust us, it was terrifying in that moment. Thankfully, everything was fine and we made it to Chichen Itza again.
The vendors were still setting up their stalls. The light was soft and golden, and there were only a handful of other guests on the site. It felt like the place was almost ours. That is the version of Chichen Itza we got to experience on our second visit, and it made everything feel more personal and more real.
We went back to the ball court first, this time taking our time to study all the stone carvings along the walls. The detailed reliefs show players, gods, and sacrificial rituals, a visual record carved in stone of just how central this game was to Mayan spiritual life. The craftsmanship in those carvings is extraordinary. Every panel tells a story, and the more time you spend with it, the more you start to see.
From there, we walked to the Sompantli, also called the Skull Platform. Its outer walls are carved entirely with rows of human skulls, and it is believed this is where the severed heads of sacrificial victims and defeated enemies were displayed on wooden racks as offering to the gods. Next was the Temple of the Eagles and Jaguars, a platform decorated with carved eagles and jaguars, both sacred animals in Mayan culture. Then we revisited the Temple of Venus, and the Mayans were extraordinary astronomers, and Venus was one of the most important celestial bodies in their entire belief system.
The Temple of Warriors stood out with its hundreds of carved soldier columns and the famous Chak Mule figure at the top, a stone messenger believed to carry offerings to the gods. Right beside it, the 1,000 columns once formed a grand roofed marketplace buzzing with the daily life of the city.
We also passed through what is believed to have been the ancient market area. A large open courtyard framed by columns that likely served as a commercial and ceremonial hub for the people of Chichen Itza.
And nearby, we found the steam bath, a small stone structure used for ritual purification, similar to a sweat lodge. Cleansing the body before ceremonies was an important spiritual practice for the Mayans.
We also stepped inside a reconstructed Mayan house. The ossuary, the high priest temple, holds a hidden shaft descending through its descent into a cave where Mayan leaders were buried with precious offerings.
El Caracol, the astronomical observatory, is perhaps the most remarkable structure of all. Its windows aligned precisely with Venus, the moon, and the equinox sun.
The Mayans' understanding of the universe still holds up by today's standards.
We also walked through the nunnery complex, a grand palace and an administrative center. And right beside it, the church, covered in the most ornate stone mosaic carvings on the entire site. We finished our visit at the House of the Deer, a quiet, noble residence at the edge of the site, a peaceful ending that reminded us, beyond all the temples and sacrificial platforms, real people lived and breathed in this city every single day.
And just like that, our time at Chichen Itza came to a close. We came twice, explored every corner we could, and still felt like there was so much more waiting to be discovered.
Next week, we are taking you to the ruins of Tulum and Coba. Make sure you follow along so you don't miss it.
Until then, take care everyone, and we will see you in the next one.